self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists back for another episode.
Free Remy. Nah, fuck that. Free Remy.
I thought you was talking about your damn dog.
Oh, no. Remy Martin. You know what? I'm going to start telling people I named him after Remy Martin now. Like, yeah, he's just... No,
I wouldn't do that, because if she do some bullshit tomorrow, you can't take it back. If she murder Nicki Minaj, now it's going to be like, damn.
I don't want my dog named after the motherfucking murderer.
I'll keep a line of separation on that shit.
Yeah, it's spelled differently. His is with an I, not a Y.
Okay.
So it's not quite the same.
You can say you named him after the liquor or something.
That's worse.
I actually found, I was at a pawn shop in the hood, and I went to the pawn shop and I found a Remy Martin bottle, and I got it. It's in my car.
Why did they have a Remy Martin bottle in the pawn shop?
Because it's the hood. It wasn't at the pawn shop. It was like somebody finished off the bottle and threw it out in the bushes.
Oh, I was like, why is the pawn shop selling empty-ass Remy Martin?
I went into these pawn shops. It's some pawn shops in the hood. They selling used shoes.
Ew.
They clearly like Jordans and LeBrons, but they selling them. I'm like, when did y'all start doing this?
Why don't you just... Well, I guess because you can get money if you take them to the pawn shop. I was like, why would you just take them like Salvation Army? But that's a donation. Oh, yeah. You don't get no money for that.
It was shocking. But, I mean, clearly they shoes that cost $300 or $400, some of them. I saw them shoes. Like, I went and looked something up online. I was like, number one, why people in this part of the community spending this kind of money on these fucking Jordans and LeBrons?
Obviously they had to come back and be like, I shouldn't have bought these shits, let me pawn them.
And the pawn shop was like, we'll give you $35. No, they ain't getting none for them damn shoes. You better off putting them on Craigslist.
Yeah, or let it go.
Selling them to your friends, they kids during tax time.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
It's tax season, everybody.
Tax season, everybody.
Anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to some podcasts that I listen to. First, though, I want to give a shout out to Black Married Fly Podcast for joining us last week.
What up, Troublemaker and Candace?
If y'all didn't check out that episode, it was a really, really good episode, informative episode.
We talked like we had some sense for once.
If you want your relationship to last forever, you need to check out that episode.
No, about forever.
A couple of forevers.
Yeah, a couple. All right. That didn't work out too well for
forever,
her.
Ever.
Her forever was not forever. After she went to that damn inauguration.
She shouldn't have did that shit.
She shouldn't have done that shit.
Talk It Out Podcast, Crystal Clear Podcast, Just Say Words Pod, and Government Name Podcast.
And we late as fuck on this, but they're doing the Black History of Movies where they both pick movies every week for the month of February. And their choices are very entertaining, I'll say. Because Cole picked fucking Hustle and Flow for the Valentine's Day episode. And I was like, that is not a romantic movie. There is nothing romantic about it. Like, he wasn't in love with none of them bitches, not even his bottom hoe. He was just trying to, like, whoop that trick. Like, he's just trying to make music.
I don't know what if you pull that shit out during Valentine's Day, I just don't feel like the night went well for you.
Probably not the way you were wanting it to go. But every week in the month of February, I think this is the second year they're doing this, they pick black movies that they think people need to see. And yeah, I'm giving Cole shit about Hustle and Flow, but they actually have some pretty good. I think Shogun picked Shaft last week.
I like Shaft. I ain't really like How to Be a Player though.
I liked How to Be a Player. It was interesting. He never got caught up. I wanted him to.
I mean, I grew up as a young boy with a mother that was in relationship with shit men. So movies with men that don't take women seriously ain't really, they don't resonate with me.
Yeah, Bill Bellamy was shit in that movie. It was horrible.
So any movie with men that ain't worth a damn, we got a problem, from my side.
Yeah.
But that's just my shit trickling into my current life. But
yeah, Black History movies, check out Government Name. We late as fuck, so this coming up week is going to be the last episode, but you can go back and catch the older episodes for the month of February.
Yep.
So
what I'm gonna need y'all to do is go check out the website www.conversationconartist.com to check out our current episode of the podcast, as well as articles linked to that episode, our old episodes, as well as an opportunity to leave us some feedback with the mail icon on the left. You can find me at Twitter at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. I've been tweeting quite a bit. Actually, I went on a Twitter rant last week because I deleted all my online dating apps. My profiles are gone. The apps are gone because it just wasn't even funny anymore. It was just fucking sad. I was like, fuck this shit. And I deleted them all, but not before I like posted some pictures from some of the people who had sent me messages so that everybody can understand why the fuck I deleted my apps. But I'm tweeting more, so
I'm Instagramming. You can actually find me on Instagram at the same shit. So do that. I
Instagram a lot, probably more than I Twitter, I'm sure. Anyhow, we are also still doing the listen letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it into the website, or you can send it into our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. We have a letter this week from Mr. T. Andrew, and he says, "What's good, Con Artist? Long-time listener, first-time writer. I've been listening pretty much since day one. I fell off for a bit and then started back around the episode where Red was sick, sounding like OJ the Juice podcaster. Listen, T. I was struggling, but I still came and did my job.
With a lotto.
So what?
With a lie.
Whatever. Anywho, I'm an avid listener of a bunch of different podcasts, many of which are Black hosted and are Black centered. I've been considering tossing my hat into the podcasting ring myself, so I just have a couple of questions about you guys' experience thus far. Looking back on your time podcasting so far, what are some of the surprises you encountered, positive or negative? Was it a difficult process finding your niche, or did you guys pretty much know going in what you wanted the podcast to be? My apologies if these are questions that have already been discussed. And again, that was sent in by T. Andrew. You want to start?
You go ahead.
I mean, as far as surprises are concerned, I was surprised that we had like listeners from outside of the country. That really fucked me up. I was like, really? We got UK listeners? Like, that was surprising. As far as starting the podcast, I don't know. Like, I think we just do what we do anyway. We just record it. The conversations we would have had anyway.
We've been doing this shit on Red Couch anyway.
Pretty much.
And we just record it.
Yeah. So
except when we at your spot, it's longer than this.
Yes. And the dogs are in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's been any negative surprises. And as far as finding our niche, like I said, we just do what we normally do. Like, we would have these conversations anyway. We just record them. So no, it wasn't hard. I mean, I think it's probably going to be easier, I would say, if you did that same thing where you just kind of something that you enjoy talking about, or that you will become, because you have to understand, like, this is going to be something you're going to be doing consistently. So it's going to have to be something you're going to want to do. And because we're already having these conversations anyway, I feel like that makes it a little easier to do. It's not like having to, the world gives us plenty of stuff to talk about. So this is stuff we would have been doing anyway. So I guess my suggestion would be to make sure it's something that you care about. Because if you're going to be in this for the long haul, it's something you're going to be doing a lot of. So it needs to be something you enjoy talking about.
So for me, the surprise initially was I ain't fucking know nothing about podcasts. Red was like, "You want to do a podcast?" I was like, "Sure, whatever the hell that is." Got home, went to Google. What the fuck is a podcast? I ain't got an iPhone, like iPhone come with an automatic pod. Like, you just press the button and be like, "Oh, what is this? Oh shit, people be talking and shit."
Yeah.
But I was like, okay. And then I realized there's like a whole community of podcasters. And then within that community is a community of Black podcasters. And then within the community is a community of, feminine. Like, it's every different group has different communities of podcasts. And there's so many different ways to do it. And so many different levels of input that you can get from this situation. You know, I just wasn't aware that it went on like that.
Yeah.
But see, I'm an avid researcher of things.
Yeah, let me tell y'all what he did. Like, all of this setup, the equipment and shit, that was all him. He went and researched everything. Like, the best mics to use, the best recording devices to use. Like, he went and researched, because that's what he does, is research stuff. So, that part was all him. So, yeah, he's a researcher for sure.
So, just for the sake of the equipment type stuff, you got to decide whether you want to use a computer to record or if you want to use a digital recorder to record. Now, as I've done research, a lot of people who are using computers, it's really easy to lose your data on a computer.
Yeah.
Between the transfer, between all that stuff, it's really easy to lose your data on a computer. And that's not something I wanted to experience. So I went with a digital recorder. But, you know, I didn't want to go with a digital recorder that you just sit on the table and record. I wanted one that you can actually plug microphones into, like legit mics. So I have a Zoom H6 and we have 2 condenser mics. As to where she has one, I have one, and that's like where a lot of the clarity comes from. Now, that clarity is limited because we are in an open room and that echo is still there.
Yeah.
That you can fix in post-production if you care about it. But, you know, sometimes that sound is desired. And so just researching the best equipment that you're going to use for your situation. And this mostly because it's 2 of us. I would probably use my computer if it was just me.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact that it's 2 of us and I want to have a face-to-face conversation. Like, that's what valuable to me. Like, we could be sitting next to each other on a computer talking into a mic, but that'll take away conversation. Feeling like it's a conversation. The next thing was, how do we want to talk about what we talking about? Because I was a part of another podcast that just felt like work. They, you know, we were trying to create some kind of image instead of just being ourselves and talking. And I just didn't like that dynamic. And the dynamic that we had was kind of offset. But with this podcast, it's not work. It's just talking, having fun, enjoying. I feel like this is an outlet for me. You know,
literally just get on here and just fucking talk. Like,
Yeah.
this is honestly how we are in real life. Like, we just get on and have a conversation, which is why the name is Conversation Con Artist. That's what we do.
we don't plan.
Nope.
We talk about this shit sometimes a day before the podcast.
Yeah.
Most times 30 minutes before we start recording.
Yeah.
You know, and then we get in, you know, because we both kind of stay up to date on whatever's going on. So we pretty much both know our takes on what's going on. She might have seen a different post about this same thing than I saw, but we bring our own perspectives to it, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, we kind of want everything to be fresh to each other because it's going to change our dialogue if we talk about this all week, or if we listen to other podcasts that's talking about this.
I don't listen at all before.
It's going to change how we communicate about this stuff. So we try to keep it fresh. And like, I think the dynamic is that our niche is just, we talk about what's valuable to us, you know, or we avoid what we don't want to talk about because we can, you know, it's our choice. And I talk about social justice shit, you know, that ain't always on red agenda because some weeks she don't be giving a fuck about none of that stuff. So she go with the lighthearted, you know, shit. And I think it provides a good counterbalance.
I'm more of a pop culture person, so all of the foolishness that happens, I'm usually more up on that than the social justice stuff. I mean, I look at the social justice stuff, I don't think as in depth as On Point, but I'm more of a pop culture, you know, reality TV type person. Like, what the fuck is going on in the world of celebrities, I guess, more, because it's just laughable to me that they're so ridiculous and are put up on such a pedestal. And they're fucking ridiculous. So.
And I don't watch any of that shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing I would say is, you know, if you're an avid podcast listener, then you see a lot of different styles of how the podcasts operate and how they go. You know, Crystal Clear podcast that I, started listening to in the last month or two seems to be more self-reflection, about her life. The same thing for Just Say Words pod. It seems that, he's, reflecting on his experiences and things of that nature. And that's the dynamic that comes with a one-person podcast. It's not really a dynamic back and forth conversation or dialogue, And then I have listened to some podcasts where you got two or more people, like Talk It Out podcast, KT, Gabby, and Joy. They got a strong dynamic of their own individual opinions, and they debate them.
Yeah,
healthily. They podcast is like a millennial type podcast. At least what we hear is healthily. It sounds like some between the scenes stuff might be a little rough, but at the end of the day, they got a strong dynamic that and that's what comes when you have more than two people.
Yeah,
because when you start introducing too many different opinions that differ in the dynamic, it gets a little bit more difficult to control what might come out, and it can derail conversation. I mean, I've listened to some podcasts where you got one person that's a moderator that is made to keep the show rolling how it's supposed to roll.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what you're trying to do. It's some podcasts that people produce, like Love Life of an Asian Guy. I don't know if y'all have follow him on Twitter or y'all follow him on Facebook, but he's an Asian American activist as it pertains to brown people. And I mean, he got some good shit. When he hit. When he miss, he miss. But he got some good shit. But he got a podcast coming out called Woke Fu.
That
and
is fucking hilarious.
Just the ads he got for it are amazing. But I get the feeling that he's recorded a lot of those episodes already, and then he gonna release them one by one instead of having it a week by week thing. And so I'm just speaking on the different dynamics that comes into when you're thinking about doing a podcast, when you start doing a podcast, and how you want to, move forward and how you want to operate your podcast. So another surprise that I had was we recorded a whole ass episode, and I don't remember what happened. I don't think I had pressed the record button on it for like most of the podcast.
Yeah,
I think I had we did a whole, so we recorded it right after that.
Yeah,
but the plan after that was from now on I'm going to transfer the file from the digital recorder to my computer so we don't deal with it. That couldn't have been the issue.
No, it was.
What was the issue?
I think the file was corrupt. Wasn't that SD card? Didn't something happen with that card?
Yeah.
It was
something happened with the SD card.
Yeah, and it wouldn't read.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't read in my computer, wasn't reading yours.
Yeah.
And we had to re-record it like Monday.
Yeah. So trying to come up with an alternative plan for that. But just set up your system. However you want your system to be, make it solid. Go with how you want it to sound.
Give yourself time before the release date in case some shit go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like we usually record Saturday or Sunday. The episode's released on Tuesday. That way, if some shit happens, we have a cushion there to like work out whatever the fuck it is, so that the episode can still come out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So like whatever day you decide to release your episode, make sure that you allot for shit to go wrong, because sometimes it does.
It does. But it's been an enjoyable experience. It is. I mean, it's different to know that people are listening.
Yeah. And I was surprised people want to come on the show. The guest spots that we've had, like, I don't know. When we started this, I just felt like it was just going to be something fun to do, like not with the expectation that people were going to like it, which sounds stupid, but I was just like, this will just be something cool to do. Like, I think the reception of it has been surprising because, I don't know. People think we're funny, and that's just amazing to me.
Shit, I think I'm funny. Shit.
I think I'm unintentionally funny. I think the shit that I say is how I feel, but like it's so ridiculous sometimes that it's funny. I think I'm unintentionally funny. And I'm an asshole in the real life, so that comes across as well.
Yeah, I think that you need a podcast for you mostly. Mm-hmm. I think that you need to make sure that it's something that you enjoy, and because I've been on the side of trying to make it a business or make it work, with some kind of goal in mind, and I don't know how to meet no goals with this shit. I'm just talking.
Pretty much.
You know?
Pretty much.
But that's not to downplay the people who put a ton of effort into podcasting, into editing, into researching. You know, this just happens to be our dynamic and how we do it, you know?
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. If you have any more like specific questions, feel free to send them in and we can like answer them.
Or give us a shout. Send specific questions. You want to have a dialogue, a phone conversation or anything.
Yeah. Let
me know. I'll give you some of my research input.
All I do is talk, so I don't know how much I can just come and talk. Essentially. But yeah, and you know, I hopefully won't sound like OJ the Juice podcaster ever again, because that was fucking terrible.
You probably will.
And I was talking about what's her face?
Michelet.
It was so ironic that today I was supposed to talk about her.
The petty guys have
petty
came
shit,
down
man.
and fucked your ass up.
So
talking
petty.
about Michelet.
Still hate her voice, because guess what? I got my voice back. She still sound like that.
Ain't no telling what they gonna do to me.
All of this bad advice you giving out.
I don't give bad advice.
The petty things
that's not advice. That's marketing.
The petty stuff you market. The petty guys will go get you for that.
Look, I think they think this is a good idea. I think they think that if you trying to be petty, you need to be petty as most efficiently as you can. So you need to holler at your boy, Mr. On Point. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Get at me if you're trying to be petty.
Oh my God.
We can do it together.
Thank you, T. Andrew, for sending in that question. If you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it in to the website, or you can send it to our Conversation Con Artist Gmail account, which is conversationconartist with an S at gmail.com. You want to talk about Remy first? Get that out the way, or you want to save Remy?
Let's go for it.
I don't know how you could have missed this, especially by the time this episode come out. It'll be Tuesday, and it'll be really old. Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj apparently have a beef going on. Nicki Minaj had some subliminal shit she said in a verse on Gucci Mane's Make Love song, and Remy, being Remy, she don't do subliminal shit. So what she did was she did a freestyle rap over the ether. Nas's ether beat called Sheether, where she fucking just wrecked Nicki Minaj.
She did the equivalent, the audio equivalent of pouring gasoline on a person and throwing a match on top of them and walking away from them, like Denzel did in Man on Fire. Except he stuck a grenade in that dude's ass. That's the difference. We can do the same thing. She did an audio version of the same shit.
Pretty much. Sheether is amazing. I don't know if we have like super young people that listen to us, but if you didn't know, Nas and Jay-Z had a epic rap beat themselves, and Nas's response to Jay-Z was Ether, which has gone down in history as one of the better rap responses, battle rap responses.
Better is not the right word.
Best.
Most lethal.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if the government want to kill somebody and they put somebody in an electrical chair, they can just
play ether
on their ass and they be fucked up. Like, clearly Nas and Jay-Z were at points in their career where this one gonna fuck up their career or nothing like that.
Pretty much.
But if Nas would have put that on any lesser being,
I would have fucked him up.
It would have been a situation.
And I feel like Remy she did justice to that beat. I feel like somebody else might have fucked it up and not done justice to it, because again, if you gonna take the beat from Ether, you gonna have to come with it. You gonna have to put out some hot shit for you to use that beat and not get red for it. And that's exactly what the fuck she did. When I tell you she came at Nicki at every fucking possible angle, from her fake ass to her brother being a accused pedophile to having ghostwriters, to fucking all the Cash Money, Young Money, fucking Young Money, to not owning her masters and signing a 360 deal. She just fucking wrecked her. Like I listened, and let me just say this shit. This shit is 6 minutes and 57 seconds long. Ain't no chorus, bitch. Like, this is 6 minutes and 57 seconds of straight wrecking her. Like, it ain't no chorus, it ain't no break. It's just a straight diss track, and it is amazing. And I think this is what people were wanting from back to back when Meek and Drake had that whole rap beef going on. I think people wanted back to back to be Sheether. Sheether is a fucking diss track. That's what that is. Like, this is what diss tracks look like in the Nas, Jay-Z eras. So I don't even know where to begin. It was amazing. It was fucking amazing.
I feel like Remy Ma sat in jail for 6 years writing diss tracks to everybody. I feel like she got a whole fucking
just
notebook
waiting.
full of disses for every goddamn body that exists. And she just went to Nicki page after this bullshit popped off and just said, all right, pulling this one out. Like, I feel like that's what she did. Like, none of y'all need to come for Remy.
Hell no.
None of y'all need to come for her. She got a notebook with y'all asses in it.
And let me just say this. Oh, some gangster shit. Let's just talk about that. Remy Ma went to prison for stabbing her best friend. Like, she ain't no fake gangster type chick. Like, she will fuck you up. Like, Remy Ma is crazy. I wouldn't fuck with her anyway. And then lyrically, she just fucked her up. It's ridiculous. And what's hilarious is the only response. Nicki Minaj had 2 responses to this. She did not do a diss track as of the time that we are recording this, and this is on Sunday. I ain't seen no diss track from Nicki yet as of Sunday. Like I said, by the time y'all hear this, it'll be Tuesday. Shit might be different, but as of Sunday, she had responded. As far as a diss track is concerned. But one, she started posting shit on her Instagram about Beyonce. Okay. Like, oh, I do shit with Beyonce. That was basically her comeback. And then 2, one of the lines in the diss was that she fucked Trey Songz. The only trigger that you didn't touch or fucked is Trey Songz. So Nicki, instead of coming at Remy, got on Twitter and came at Trey Songz. Like, really? What he got to do with this? He just in the song like you. Like, he ain't had shit to do with this, but he was a safer target. So she go ahead talking about, you need to tell people that this ain't true. And he made a whole video. He made a video on Instagram talking about how he did not fuck Nicki. And she's still like coming at him because that, well, I guess, again, was a safer target for her. And his response was hilarious because he was just like, you just mad, or you need to be mad at Remy, Nicki.
He right.
He is. What you mad at me for? I didn't write the shit. Like, and the memes, when I tell y'all are quick. Black Twitter's quick as fuck. The memes, somebody did a first 48 episode. Did you see that shit? Mm-mm. A full ass, like he went to a house, had the dead body on the ground, blurred out. Like, it was hilarious. It's like probably about a minute long. It's well done for it. And it was so fast. The shit just happened yesterday, and it was done like yesterday. Somebody said they didn't know that L's were sexually transmitted, that Nicki got her L's from Meek. Yep. She even said something about Nicki taking a picture with Drake now after she broke up with Meek. Like, every possible thing that you could think of. And you know what, this reminded me, have you seen 8 Mile? Mm-hmm. You know, that very last rap, he like said all of the bad shit about himself and then drug Papa Doc, and then when it was time for Papa Doc to say some shit, what you gonna say? You can't say what he already said. He just said all of this. I grew up in a trailer. Yeah, like, what you gonna say? I feel like Remy addressed that she was in jail. She addressed they took all her weave and shit when she was in there. Like, what you gonna say about her?
You know what is fun to do? This is a sidebar. Oh, shit. When you said 8 Mile, When you said 8 Mile, I just put together the dude who played Papa Doc whole movie career, and I feel like that was the Falcon before he became the Falcon. Like before he got into Marvel, he got roasted by Eminem and decided to change his whole
Fuck
life.
This shit, I'm gonna be the Falcon now.
You know, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to law enforcement or something. I don't know. I don't know why
Fuck
that shit
this rap
popped up.
shit though.
I don't know why that shit popped up.
That was Anthony Mackie.
Falcon got his ass roasted.
Yeah, he did.
By Bunny Rabbit.
By Bunny Rabbit. By B Rabbit. Yes.
They just had another concert too. Like she went hard on her in that concert.
Yeah,
at the beginning of that concert.
Yeah.
And Big. I keep on saying Big Pun. Fat
Joe, not Big Pun.
I know. I always want to call him Big Pun,
Terrible.
but Fat Joe.
Didn't they have a beef?
Who?
Fat Joe and Big Pun before Big Pun died. Didn't they have a beef?
I don't know.
I feel like they did.
If
Maybe
they
I'm
did,
lying.
nobody will ever say it now. You know, after you die, nothing was going bad. It was somebody else there. It was Remy.
Who else in the
Fat
Terror
Joe.
Squad? Is the Terror Squad
Papoose.
still there? Yeah. Oh, of course. He gonna be
Yeah,
there.
he gonna be there. Papoose. And
There was another meme where it was like, Papoose probably somewhere like, that's my baby.
Of course. He been holding her down the whole time.
Look, it's some of y'all can't get a motherfucker to wait on you to get off work for 8 hours. This nigga waited for her for 6 years. The fuck? That's love. That's what that
Outside of
is.
his preposterous name,
Papoose.
he seems to be, you know, at least loyal
He
to his
is, and she
obligations.
seemed like a lot to do. Like, she even addressed the fact that she on Love and Hip Hop. She said, you just got murdered by a Love and Hip Hop bitch. Like, it really reminded me of that last battle at 8 Mile where it's like, what you gonna say? You gonna say something about her being on Love and Hip Hop? She already said that. Like,
To be honest, she just need to address what might be lies or might be true. She
like
just,
gonorrhea, she can't hear her hearing gone because of
she just
gonorrhea.
need to play politics on this one. Listen, she need to have a press conference and say, listen,
Like Sean
my
Spicer.
ass did not explode for 3 months. Okay?
Oh my God.
That didn't happen. I
could believe
never
that
had
happened.
an STD.
I
So-
can believe her ass
But
exploded.
the thing, if these things are true, it ain't really shit you can do. Fuck can you do if this stuff true? Be mad at Trey Songz.
And be mad at Meek for telling. Meek out here
What
telling
you,
you,
Meek
bitch.
don't owe her nothing. She
the
should have took that
time-
picture with Drake.
At the time, well, she said during All-Star Week. What was All-Star Weekend?
Just recently.
Oh, okay, so they wasn't together no more. He like, fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this bitch.
She was walking down the damn steps and saw Meek and said, "Oh, let me go holler at Meek real quick. Hey Meek, give me some dirt on Nicki." He was like, "Let me get my notebook real quick." Just pull the notebook out.
Oh my God, the memes are saying like the I don't know if you see like the I don't even know what the version of the Ninja Turtles where they were in them suits, the 90s version of the movies. Where they have a meme going around with Leonardo with it's Michelangelo with a hat on and like a trench coat. Like this what Meek looked like when he met Remy to give her this dirt on Nicki. Like the memes.
Oh, Raphael.
Was it Raphael?
Mm-hmm.
Thought it
The
was
live action
Michelangelo.
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one scene where Raphael got mad in the Ninja Turtles and he left, but you can't walk around New York clearly looking like a big ass turtle. So he had on a trench coat and a hat. That's when he met Casey Jones in the wood. Whooped his ass.
You remember so much about that movie. My brother was really into Turtles. I wasn't. And the what they bodysuits? What did they have? What? Because it wasn't animated. It wasn't. What the fuck was it?
You mean what the actors
What
wore?
were the turtles? What were they suits?
What do you mean?
What were the turtles? Like what were they made
The premise
of?
of Ninja Turtles?
No, the people that played the turtles on that movie, were they in bodysuits?
They had to be. Probably had makeup on.
Their skin look like, I don't know.
You can make makeup look like all kind of crazy looking
I
shit.
guess. I thought it was like a bodysuit. We all got wet. Anyhow. Remy Martin destroyed Nicki, essentially. And like for everybody, let me just say this. For all of y'all who talking about when Nicki got more record sales and da-da-da-da-da, that is not how battle rap work. She lyrically destroyed her. Like she won. It ain't got nothing to do with how much money either one of them made. And honestly, she addressed that too, because she was saying that, yeah, Nicki may make all this money, but it got to go through 5 people before she get to it. So the amount that she get after it go through all of these people because of the kind of deal she's signed is not as much as is what is reported. Because they report like just how much from her album sales she make. That's not how much she gets though. So nobody knows how much money she actually makes, or we don't know. You know how much her album make, but that ain't how much she gets. She don't get that a whole amount.
It's still more than Remy ass gonna be getting in the next coming years.
True.
I mean, Remy don't have universal appeal.
She don't.
I mean, she is New York.
She's very.
She sound New York.
Yes.
She talk New York. She stabbed a bitch and took 6 years. She married to a nigga named Papoose.
She did a bid.
She walk around with a Latino cat named Fat Joe. Like, she is the fucking epitome of what New York motherfuckers is, it seems to me. I don't know. I'm from the South. I don't know. But if you painted a picture, if you said, paint a picture of New York.
Remy Martin.
Remy Martin and all the shit that's surrounding her. That's what New York look and sound like.
Yeah.
So she don't have that universal appeal.
Nicki from New York too. She just from... Remy from the Bronx. Nicki's from...
But Nicki ain't even trying to be New York.
No, she not. I forgot where she from. She from New York too. I just can't remember.
She got that universal appeal.
I don't remember where she's from.
She sought to have that universal appeal. She's tried not to be New York. And so that, I think that's off-putting to a lot of people. But this is going to expose Remy, because regardless of how New York she is, her bars have been, sharpened.
Her, the album went up on the charts after this, because like people who didn't necessarily, because again, Remy been gone for like 6 years because she was locked up, so like a lot of the younger kids don't know who she is. So after that shit came out, motherfuckers was like, oh shit, let me go see some more of this bitch shit. And so she's seen an increase in like that album. What is that? What All the Way Up? Mm-hmm. That is gone up.
And that's the thing, like, Remy ain't gonna universal appeal shit.
No, and she ain't. I don't think she want to. Like, I think a lot of rappers. I feel like that's how rap started off being. It ain't for universal appeal. It's a genre for us. It's not. It ain't. You don't have to understand it. It wasn't made for you to understand type shit. I don't think she want to have universal appeal. Like, I think she like being a good ass rapper. Like, I think she like that.
And I think, when it get to certain people, like I'm sure Remy Ma is this way, when it comes to respect in New York, and then when it comes to being real, you gotta be real and barely making it than fake and having everything.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the kind of mentality she have, because I think though the rappers who, are like that, or part of Terror Squad type like that, they gonna have a comfortable life the rest of their careers. They might not have massive millions and breaking records here and there all the time, but they'll be able to live a comfortable life. And I think that still allows you to fit that respect and that, that New York mentality in there without feeling like you sold out for stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like Nicki might have done.
The fact that she was able to be gone for 6 years and come back and still people like love her, especially in New York. Like, when All the Way Up came up, people lost their mind because... the kind of respect that she's garnered. I feel like if Nicki Minaj went away for 6 years, I don't know that it would be the same. Like, when she come back, I don't know that people would be like, oh shit, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think if she was gone for long enough,
But that's also what limits Remy's fans, because she caters to that particular group.
She does.
You always gonna have a fan base if you cater to the specific group that you deal with. Yeah. But that don't appeal to people in the South. That don't appeal to people in the West. But I think that's all she care about, and that's good. Yeah. But her appeal is getting higher, and more people gonna listen and stuff. So she better be getting ready to put out an album. Yeah.
I'm sure she is after that shit. Papoose
read that shit and was like, we need to get an album together. Let's get an album together first, because this shit's gonna put you on game. But she did some research for this shit.
That's what you supposed to do, isn't it? Like, you supposed to embarrass the other person. That's the point. It's supposed to be whatever you can.
So when I say she did research, I mean Drake did research about Meek. He only did an hour worth of research to get, the songs he got. He just talked to Nicki.
And he had a fucking he had a chorus in his song. Remy done had no chorus. Like that whole 6 minutes is just her going in. That's it. It ain't no chorus.
So the level of research that she did is PhD dissertation type shit. As far as are there 7-minute diss tracks for anybody?
I don't know that.
I ain't gonna look.
I didn't either. But
if it is another one that's that high, this is fucking right next to it.
It's amazing. And again, tonight, because Drake, like I said, on back to back, there is a chorus. Going back to back, there is a chorus. She ain't no chorus to fucking Sheetha. It just is. You just have to remember lines from the fucking rap because it ain't no chorus, and everybody got their favorite lines.
I just don't feel like there's any recourse.
No,
I feel like anything that Nicki gonna do is gonna be subpar. She is not a battle rapper.
What's hilarious is she did this subliminal shit, and Remy ain't that kind of person. So Remy was like, "Dog, bitch, I'm talking about you. Nicki, this is to you." It ain't no subliminal shit. Like,
what if she wasn't even talking about Remy? What if it was just a misunderstanding?
It's too late now.
Exactly. Like, now she can't even come out and say that one about you. She can't even do that now because now she weak. Because somebody called her out directly.
That's what I feel like. If you gonna call somebody out, do that. Be direct. I'm talking about you. Ain't no misunderstanding. Because here's the thing about you doing this, it's even sadder if you weren't talking about her. Because you just got drugged for no reason now. But I think it was the stuff that she said in that verse on Gucci Mane's song. It sounded like she was her. I mean, I don't know who else rapping, female rapping right now. Like, she was talking about her. I don't know who else it could have been besides Remy.
Don't know. I mean,
some of the references.
There's a couple of other rappers that have put out diss songs about Nicki Minaj that are relatively unknown. I don't know if any of them calling themselves Queen of New York.
No.
Because if they are, they irrational. Need some mental analysis.
If y'all haven't heard Sheetha, you need to listen to it. Like, she talk about body positivity. Like, it's an amazing, because she was like, you got all these little black girls going out here getting these fake ass injections and dying and shit trying to look like you. And she just addressed everything. And I'm sorry, and everybody can feel how they want to feel about this. There is nobody in this world that's gonna make me think that Nicki Minaj didn't fuck Wayne. I'm sorry. I believe wholeheartedly that she didn't fuck Wayne at some point in this Young Money shit. I feel like it's happened. I really do. I don't see why I wouldn't have. I don't believe that never happened at no point. I just don't.
Yeah. I don't care.
I'm not buying it.
So last week there was a plan to talk about Hurt Bae. If y'all don't know, which y'all should by now, there was this video about this couple that confronted each other about cheating. And he talked about cheating and she,
cried, and he just sat there and looked at her in the face all passive and shit. Like,
yeah.
Fuck is you crying about?
That's kind of how it went. And it was sad to see her. I don't think it was sad to see her like that. I mean, but as I said at the beginning of this episode, when shit men are involved with, a woman in a situation, I'm empathetic to that situation for the woman.
I endeavor to be as mature as she is. Because ain't no fucking way I'm gonna sit across from a motherfucker that cheated on me. Then I asked him how many times, and he said, well, I wasn't really counting. At that point, when he said I wasn't counting, I would have lost it.
The thing, how much was he getting paid for the truth?
I don't know.
Like, if this was free, bro, preserve all of her feelings you can. Preserve all of your image that you can.
But
why would you say that?
Some guys like being fuckboys. They think it's hilarious, or they think it's something cute about them being fuckboys. And he is most definitely a fuckboy. And I'm not mature enough to do that. Like, I don't know that I would have jumped across. I verbally, massacre people. I ain't on Remy's level. But I'm not a physically violent person. I might make you want to get physically violent with me because some of the shit I might say. I would not have been able to just sit across there like crying these solemn ass tears. Like that ain't how that would have gone. I would never agree to do no shit like that because I know I ain't mature enough. I'm immature as shit when it comes like you hurt my feelings. Okay, I'm gonna hurt yours. How about that? Not gonna touch you. I'm not gonna touch you because I don't want you to touch me, and most men are gonna be stronger than I am. I don't want to take the chance that you gonna punch me in the face because I hit you. Not gonna do that, but I might make you want to hit me in the face. But sitting across from him, let him talk that shit. No, I'm not that mature of a person. I don't know that I will ever be that mature of a person. I don't know that that's in the cards for me.
Maturity might not be the word though. For why she said out there, I mean, it sound like she'll get back with his ass in a goddamn month if he say I ain't gonna do it no more.
And he just a goofy looking motherfucker. Like he just, I don't know. The video was much too long. It was just, what was the point?
I don't fucking know. To destroy somebody's character. And put somebody's character on a pedestal.
Well, he allowed his character to be destroyed. He didn't help because he had control. Unless it was scripted, he had control over what he said and how he behaved. And he was so fucking apathetic. Like, they might as well have been talking about walnuts. Like, his expression was like if you were having a full-on conversation with somebody about walnuts and you don't give a fuck about walnuts and you just like, why does motherfucker keep talking about these goddamn walnuts? I don't care about walnuts. That's his expression. Like they were talking about walnuts. I understand.
He said I was definitely emotional. Just because it wasn't written all over my face doesn't mean I didn't feel some type of way.
Okay.
I mean, realistically though, how the fuck somebody's face supposed to look when they done fucked you off?
Not apathetic like that. Like he had no fucking experience. Like it wasn't like he didn't look shamed. He didn't look guilty. He didn't look. He looked nothing. Like I said, he looked like they were talking about walnuts. You're gonna at least look like he didn't look like somebody who regretted the decisions that he's made. He just looked like I wish this would be over because I'm tired of talking about this. Like
he got on the camera and talked about it though.
I just think that it takes pride in being a fuckboy. I mean, he just complete apathy. Like he didn't have to be crying himself, but you can tell when somebody regrets a decision. You can tell when his body language, nothing about his body language said, "Ah man, I fucked up. I hurt this girl." Nothing about his body language said that. Fuck his facial expression. His whole body was just relaxed, like whatever. He was apathetic as fuck. He didn't give a shit. He probably did that because there was some money involved. That's why he did it. He had a check for it probably.
I don't know. Maybe not. I feel like he should have got a check for the stupid shit he was saying about himself.
I'm sure they got a check. Wasn't it? I forgot what the whole reason why they were even recording it. Was it I don't remember. I really don't. I didn't look that far into Hurt Bay to be honest, because when I saw the video, I was just like, okay, whatever. This is stupid.
A lot of people are giving the girl in the video a hard time because once you found out shit was going on, once you realized he was cheating on you, once you walked into a room and saw him cheating and he said get out and you went into the other room and cried, like people ain't giving her any sympathy because she should have got the fuck on out of that relationship at that point.
I mean, that can be said. She ain't the only woman in the world who stay in a fucked up ass relationship that she know was fucked up. I mean, obviously she should have got out of it, but I mean, it ain't that simple to walk away from situations, and I know that. I mean, obviously she had a hand in her own misery because she could have left it at any time. That doesn't mean that like she doesn't deserve some sympathy though, because you know who knows what people behaviors serve a purpose, and who knows what her reasoning was for sticking in that. I wouldn't do the shit, but I have stayed in a situation where I was not treated the best though. Like, and I had my reasons for it. They were stupid ass reasons. And on the other side of that, I know that. But like, people kill me when they, judge folks like that. Like they ain't never did no stupid shit in no relationship. Obviously, again, she contributed to her own misery, 100%. But it ain't all that simple sometimes to walk away from situations, or she might have self-esteem. It's numerous reasons why she could have stayed. I wouldn't have done shit. Totally. Fuck him. And if I walk in on you, I just...
your good time gonna turn into a bad time.
Real fucking quick. Like 0 to 100.
Take a page out of Remy book. Stab that motherfucker.
I ain't trying to go to prison. But everybody in that room is gonna get these hands. I don't get no weapons. Everybody in the room is gonna catch these hands though.
You need this. Why
right or wrong, in the heat of that moment, everybody catching these hands.
Let's see. What's the best way to hurt somebody and not go to jail? Low voltage taser. Low voltage taser. Get you a low voltage taser just in case you ever walk in on your dude and a girl having sex together, and leave the room, but only leave the room to go get your low voltage taser. Go back into the room and tase the hell out one of them. They both gonna get it.
Here you go with this petty ass.
I'm just saying, listen, if you're gonna, don't kill them clearly, but don't go into the other room and cry all night.
I ain't gonna go in the room. Like I said, they gonna catch these heads. I'm not, again, that's not right. That's not gonna change the situation for anybody to come in the comments. Somebody that ain't gonna change. I know it ain't gonna change shit, but in that moment, I'm gonna feel so much better whooping both of their ass.
Now, what I'm saying is, if you feel like Red and you feel like they gonna catch them hands, a more efficient way of them feeling pain and your frustration at the same time is a low voltage taser. Don't get a high voltage one. Might be some sweat involved and they might die. Low voltage taser will let them know who's about. And you ain't even got to get it. You can just go hit one of their foot. It's going through everybody.
You are the worst with this petty advice.
I think I'm the best with the petty advice. It's just a horrible thing to do and say. I know that. But listen, if you're already going to be petty, do it the best and the most efficient way you can. When a police officer come to your door and say, what happened? I tased them with a low voltage taser. He gonna be like, let me see the taser. Oh yeah, this shouldn't do no harm. He shouldn't have did that shit no way. Have a nice night, ma'am. Go live with your mama or stay with your mama for the time being. Everybody happy.
You know they can still press charges on you, even though it was a low voltage taser. And
they
probably if out of two people, somebody gonna probably her. He probably wouldn't because, he likes you, but she gonna probably press charges. I mean, they gonna press charges if they catch these hands too, but it is what it is. It's what's gotta happen. If you bold enough in the place that we live in together to be fucking somebody, you asking to catch these hands. You asking for it, and I'm gonna give it to you. I believe in giving people what the fuck they want.
Go into the room, tase them. Remove the taser from the environment. You don't know what happened. It was divine intervention from God that y'all felt about 120 volts going through your body at the same time. Roughly 120.
I hate deal
fluctuation. 120, 130.
Terrible.
Look, I'm just saying.
Well, then he come back and do a second interview, and now what is he called now? He's still Hurt Bae, right? They didn't change it. Hurt Bae.
Yeah. He just talked about. So the articles that I've been seeing have been really biased. It says cheating ex from viral Hurt Bae. I made that bitch famous. And I read the article and saw the video, and he did say that, but he was kind of being silly at the end in reference to Kanye West. But he said a lot of positive shit about her. Like, after realizing how many follows and shit that she got, he's like, I hope she does well. I hope she moves forward and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, laughingly, I made that bitch famous. He shouldn't have said that, but, it didn't vilify him the way that I thought that the article the way it was phrased.
He did that to himself with that first video. She out here being Simba, he's Scar.
You know what made me mad about the first video? The fucking audacity of him to feel he's an authority to say some shit like, I just want to see the woman that you growing into becoming.
Nigga,
you stunted that a little bit. What are you talking
how
about?
fucking condescending. Like, see, again, this is why I would never sign on to do no shit like that. Because that, I can't let that slide now. You asking for it now. You want to see the woman that I can have the potential to become? Let me give you a fucking preview of who she is, motherfucker. Like, what? I don't have a personality. It would have been a whole, because I would not have been hurt bae. I'd have been petty bae. Or crazy bae. Or fucking, I don't know. It wouldn't have been no hurt bae.
These videos need to be careful. Because if she had a goddamn Saturday night special in her purse and pull that out and hit him in the stomach 3 times. Oh shit, we're accomplices to murder now.
And it's on film.
Trying to evoke these people's negative emotions and shit. Motherfucker, the only people that's qualified to do that shit is therapists, okay? Don't be evoking motherfucking people's bullshit ass emotions in an uncontrolled environment.
And let me reiterate what I said last week. I fucking hate couples therapy. It's my least favorite thing to do. I hate it. It's the worst. Give me a one-on-one anytime over a couple. Hate it. Fucking hate it.
In an alternate universe, when she got up and walked out, she went to pop the trunk.
He came outside and she just
The people with the cameras ran behind her and said, "What are you doing?" I got some heat for that ass. That's what I got.
Oh, you don't know how many times? Let's see how many times I can hit you.
They're
how
like, no.
That? Let's count these bullets, bitch.
Exactly. Like, she went to pop the trunk. But anyway, he ain't shit.
He is definitely not
She
shit.
does not need to be a participant in her own misery in the future.
Yep.
If you see some bullshit going on,
Leave.
get the fuck on.
Leave that shit,
He even
man.
asked her, "Why would you just look through my shit? Why didn't you just leave?" She said, "I don't know." Like, why would you let her stay around, motherfucker?
Just break up with her, nigga.
Like,
if you out here fucking everything that walk, just break up with her. Like, look, I like putting my penises in strange places. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I don't think we need to be together.
The thing is, there is a such thing as fucking everybody that you want and not being in a relationship.
Yes.
You can do that.
You absolutely
Nobody would be
can.
mad at you.
I don't know why people forget that that's an option,
Yeah.
but it is. You don't have to be in a relationship. That is a choice.
Like, don't be dragging other people down with you on your bullshit. Just fuck people by yourself.
There you go.
You can find plenty of people that just want to have sex.
Lots of them
Will
are
have
out
sex
there.
with you. All the people he had sex with while he was in that relationship, I'm pretty certain that he didn't use his relationship as a segue to have sex with you. You would have been able to have sex with all of those people if you weren't in a relationship.
Yeah, pretty much. It's fucking stupid. And talking about, while we talking about ain't shit niggas, let's talk about Ed Hartwell and Keisha Knight Pulliam.
Oh, hell.
If you don't know, Keisha Knight Pulliam, better known as Rudy from Cosby Show, got married fairly quickly to a nigga named Ed Hartwell, and shortly afterwards she was pregnant, and shortly after that nigga was ghost. He left. And he left under the guise of she had cheated and she was doing this and doing that and the baby went his and blah fucking blah. So she gives birth to the baby. They have a paternity test, and guess what, Ed? You the daddy. You the pappy. That's your child. That is your daughter. So now that he knows for sure that it's his child, he's saying, I don't think I need to pay child support till we decide on the figure. Because she's asking for emergency support. And he's saying, I don't think I need to do that. We need to just wait till we go to the court date and they give me the specific amount, because you ain't taking into account. I gotta set up a nursery in my house for the child, and so this should just be a break right now. No child support at the moment. That's not how that works, Ed.
His first name is Edgerton.
I see why he go by Ed.
I see too. If my name was Edgerton, I'd go by fucking Ed too. Hell.
That is a terrible name.
Edgerton Hartwell. I feel like his family probably was British slaves. Edgerton Hartwell. It sounds like his slave masters owned a library.
That is hilarious and terrible.
I don't know why this.
I just don't understand why. Like, at the time that the baby gets here, the baby needs shit. That's just, they need shit. They constantly need shit. They just do. And so you need to be helping out. Because if y'all hadn't had the issues that you had and y'all was still together, you would be helping out. So guess what? That don't change now because you decided to leave because you said she was cheating on you, which maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. At this point, it don't fucking matter. It's still your kid and your responsibility. That's just how shit works.
Can't prove it.
Exactly. Sorry, Ed. It's your kid. We proved that it's your child. Because first you were saying it wasn't even your kid and you were so sure. It's your child. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
That's so ain't shit. Like, just help her with the child, sir. Just do that. Talking about you got to set up a nursery.
You got limited options, brother. You gonna pay this money or you gonna have her murdered. I mean, clearly that's a wide range of shit. It's some shit in between it now.
There's a ton of things.
There's some shit in between that. But, you know, this is the limitations that you got.
Because here's the thing about postponing it until they set the amount. You do realize there's a such thing as back child support. And if you ain't been doing, because, like, look, family court, the date, I mean, I don't know if you can get a quicker date if you're like a celebrity, but usually the dates are set out like 3-4 months. So she gonna have put out a lot of money in 3-4 months to pay. So you gonna either pay it now or you gonna pay it later, because they do back child support at the time that they set the current amount. Oh, since this child been in the world, we gonna backtrack and give her this amount too. You still gonna end up paying it. You could just pay it now over the course of 3 months, or you could get her a lump sum and then still have to pay this monthly amount. But you gonna more than likely have to pay this shit, sir. It's coming. They do back child support. You don't get a postponement. How that works.
I don't know why these dudes be such assholes, man.
Cause get what? She was amazing when you was fucking her, apparently. She was amazing when you decided to marry her.
Well,
now she ain't
maybe
shit.
Not.
Why would you marry an ain't shit person? Or somebody that you feel like ain't shit? Cause she wasn't pregnant.
Why would you deny a baby that's clearly probably yours? This nigga irrational. Nothing he doing makes sense now. So I'm under the assumption that shit he was doing before didn't make sense either.
It's just ridiculous. It's just stupid. But at Rudy, I hope you learned a lesson from this. Pick better niggas. Don't just be, I mean, because they were not dating very long before they got married. And I didn't say this before. I will say it to the day that I die. You have to give people time to show you who they are. 3-4 months is not enough time for you to feel like you know who somebody is and say, I want to spend the whole rest of my life with this dude. No, you don't. Because you don't know this dude.
When they show you who they are, you also need to believe them.
Exactly. Maya Angelou.
Believe who they is.
They know better than you do. Shit.
If your ass been dating this dude for a year and a year and day one, you come in and he drinking some goat's blood for dinner. That's
it. I'm out. I ain't even gonna like break up with you because I'm not even gonna want to see you again. I'm moving. Might be trying to put a root on me. I don't know.
I'm using that such an extreme example because that's him. This ain't nothing you try out tomorrow.
No,
that's who he is. The other shit been bullshit. Like when you see new shit like emerge like that, that's who that person is.
Yeah.
If you see a motherfucker like really want to hit you, like they finna hit you but they don't, that's who they are.
Yep.
They've been trying to suppress that person.
Yep.
Get the fuck on.
And he gonna come out. Because guess what? You're not gonna always do pleasing things. And somebody that's like that is irrational anyway. So, you know, they come home 4 hours late and they dinner cold. Bitch, you 4 hours late. What you expect? And they gonna punch you in the face for it because they're not logical. So once they show you that, Who you lucky I tried to change my life? Because I would have punched you. He gonna punch you in the face eventually.
One day you gonna get your
One of
ass
these
hit.
days, you gonna get them hands. When people show you who they are, you need to believe them. Walk the fuck away. Don't stay thinking, well, he'll change or she'll change. Like, she's like that today, but you know, she's been like that before and it always passes over. But do you want to deal with the days when she is like that? When she is knocking you upside your head? Is that okay for you? Because if so, okay. But don't stay and then complain about the shit. If she make you feel bad about who you are as a person, like if she was telling you was the greatest thing ever in the beginning and now you ain't shit, you ain't shit, bitch. That's who she is. Like that talking you up and praising your shit, that was to get you really in. I got you now. Now you ain't shit. I want you to know you're terrible. You're the worst. My last nigga was better than you. He was a man, you not. Like, that's who she is. Like, because it don't just, I know we always talk about it from the female perspective, but it's some ain't shit bitches out here too. And if you run across an ain't shit bitch and she show you that she ain't shit. Don't stick around hoping that she gonna become shit. She's not shit.
And listen to their stories too. Like, if you are privy to hearing her talk about some of her past relationships, she'd be like, yeah, I put gas in his tank. You need to put that down in the book of shit that's suspect, okay, that you have. You should have one of those books. Okay, let me write that shit down because that ain't good. Yeah, I slashed a couple of tires in my day. Like, that's illegal. She broke the law because of that. Like, what laws would she break on your ass?
Exactly.
Maybe she won't slash no tires again or put none in the tank, but what laws would she break?
You realize you said she put gas in his tank. I'm sure you meant sugar.
I did. Have I only said that the whole time?
You only said it was, but you was like, she put gas in his tank. And I was like, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Put some gas in my motherfucking tank.
I meant sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar.
When people show you who they, and people will, I don't care how good of an actor somebody is, eventually they are going to be who they are. And once they are who they are, like, walk away, run away if you need to. Get the fuck away from that shit.
Or skip away, hop, get away though. Go. Just go in the opposite direction
in some way, some pace, but go in the fucking opposite direction. Don't stick around.
Skateboard, the shoes with the little skates inside of them. Them. Crip walk. Just something that propels you into the opposite direction. Go that way. Don't crip walk in front of no bloods. That probably won't be good.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you watch, I don't know why this, do you watch Scared Straight?
I don't.
Have you ever seen it?
I have.
I saw an episode where this little boy was setting fires. He was a pyromaniac, but he also kept saying he was in these different games. Like
you talking about the episode Cole was talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
One episode, he was in the blood, then he was the Vice Lords. Like, he was just bouncing around. Now, very obviously, this is a little nerdy because the kid's like probably not even 5 feet tall, little teeny tiny boy with glasses, just little nerdy ass black dude. Very obviously, this was all in his imagination. But I guess his mom was the first. The pyromania absolutely is a problem. The gang shit, to me, was very obvious. This kid ain't in no gangs, but I guess his mom couldn't be sure, so she sent him through the program. When I tell you I have never watched Scared Straight and seen an episode of a kid more afraid than this little kid. Because you know the rest of them be trying to be hard or they might let some tears fall, but they be stoic still. This little nigga was scared as fuck.
I'm starting to remember what Cole was saying about the episode. This was the boy with the orange.
The orange. So the prisoners gave him an orange. It was like, peel my motherfucking orange, nigga. And so he's peeling it. It's an orange, so you know you got to get it started. He having trouble. They peel it faster, nigga. So he takes the orange and start peeling it with his teeth, like you imagine a corn cob just going all around trying to peel it. Scared as fuck, crying. It was sad. Then they yanked him and was finna take him over to somewhere else, and he trying to hand them to them. Like, do you want your orange? Like, it was so sad. Then they fought with him when they took his glasses. the guy who took him is like, you better not snitch. And the guard is like, you better tell me who did it or you ain't going home. So he got this guard saying, you're not going to be able to leave this place if you don't tell. But the prisoner saying, I'm going to fuck you up if you snitch on me. It was so sad, but so fun. I've never seen a kid. Like, he was so terrified. He was like, no, I can't tell. I can't. And then when the guard kept saying, you ain't going home, at that point, it's like, I want to fucking go home. So he snitched and told, and they were like, we gonna fuck you up. He just ran.
See, these are the reasons that Scared Straight is not effective. Because what happened was she got a goddamn kid that came home that hadn't been able to sleep for a goddamn year.
Pretty much. Because he was scared as fuck. Like, he did not need to be. Now, there were kids in this same episode who absolutely, like, needed to see what the other side. Because they was doing shit like, what? I've seen an episode where, like, a black kid was doing this, but it was a white kid, 2 white kids in this episode, whooping their mama ass. And let me tell you something. My kid will die. I'll be the one going through not scared. I'll be just going to prison. Because if you put your motherfucking hands on me after I did all of this shit to bring your little ass into this world, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. You going to get these hands now. Like, the kid was like calling her a bitch and like punching her in the face. All kind of shit. Like, I don't even want to think about what I would do to a child of mine that would have the balls to come. I feel like my kids would know better because I feel like they gonna know I'm crazy and they gonna know I don't play that. I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, you my kid and I love you. I will give you everything I have. But what you not gonna do is that shit. You go to school and see little Timmy cussing his mom out and think you finna come back in this motherfucking house and do that shit. Then shit ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. Cause I'm not Timmy's mama. I'm your mama. And that's not how we do things in this home. But the other kids in that episode were fucking up real bad. But this little, the power mania is a problem. And he probably needs some counseling for that shit. But Scared Straight was not where he needed to go. Because and then, like, actual gang members was like, oh, you want blood? It just in his face. He just cried. He spent that entire experience crying. I don't think he ever stopped crying.
Scared Straight is not effective. Any of y'all that don't really read articles or research, but it's not effective. Even for people that should go to that shit, you know, because it looked like they should go to something like that, the immediacy of what they do, they don't go there. Yeah. You don't go there right away.
Yeah.
The kids who need that shit know, they smart enough to know they ain't finna go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
They gonna go to a whole bunch of other programs before they get there. Not to mention that kids have this invincibility complex where they don't think shit gonna happen to them.
I know that happens, but not to me. That's how they think about everything.
So Scared Straight is more for entertainment value than it is for actual helping.
In that episode, I felt like such an asshole for laughing as hard as I did. Because he was, like, honestly terrified. But it was just so fucking fun. Like, he just was the last person that needed to be there. Like,
I feel like that ain't a real jail. I feel like Scared Straight is an old ass prison that been renovated for a TV show, and it's a whole TV set, and they hire people to do that shit. Maybe ex-cons.
You know, they do it in different cities though. It's not the same place.
A whole bunch of different cities got abandoned ass jails. I just don't feel that shit is real. I don't feel that shit is lawful.
The first one this is the first one that I've seen where they let the prisoners like put hands on him, cause they were jacking him up and shit. Like, the rest of them, they don't touch the kids. I don't think they're supposed to touch the kids. Like, they'll get in their face and shit, but they don't touch him. They was jacking this little boy up and yanking him around like that. I've never
I think it used to be real. I think it used to be real jails, but I think at the point that they realized that using public and or private facilities for that reason is more jeopardizing to children's welfare than helpful. I think they started modifying it, and it became more of a show than it is an actual kids going to jail. I
always felt like they chose prisoners that could be trusted to, like, I don't think it's just in general population and whoever come up. I always felt like
if they could be trusted, why they fucking still in jail?
You know, they had, what are they called? Stewards or whatever the fuck that you get. There are different levels in jail of trust.
If
and
y'all
like,
think it's good people in jail, y'all need to let their ass out.
Obviously not good, but they the ones that get to do the work release programs, and they can be trusted to go outside and pick up trash and shit. I feel like them the motherfuckers they allowed to do this. Like, you have to have had like good behavior, I feel like, for them to allow you to like be involved in the show. I always felt like it was like, I think they're called stewards. I don't fucking know. The ones that get to do work release, them prisoners. They still bad, but they better than some of the other bad prisoners, I guess is how you would describe them. You see them niggas picking up trash on the side of the road, them be prisoners.
And they run away sometimes.
They do run away sometimes. Hey, they miscalculate the character of some of them. You can't get it right.
You gonna find a kid dead in the bathroom and don't know who the hell did it. This shit gonna turn into a Clue mystery. But you know what? It ain't gonna be like Clue. They just gonna kill all them dudes.
Yeah.
All y'all on death row unless you tell us who killed this kid.
Yeah.
I don't want my kid going to no scared straight. I don't give a goddamn.
Now, like I said,
what are you telling me? So of all the prisoners, of all these people that have done horrible things that should be excluded from society, you're telling me that you're going to let my kid hang out with the ones of those you think are the best ones?
Yep.
Fuck no.
Pretty much.
Fuck no. They ain't gonna do that with my kids. Care how bad my kids is. My kids ain't gonna be bad. But
okay,
what?
How are you gonna make that so?
I can't.
So what do you mean your kids ain't gonna be bad?
Can't I have that before I have my kids before they here?
All right,
you know what I'm saying.
Let me not bust your bubble.
I mean, clearly I might have a fucking sociopath that kill all my cats one day.
You shouldn't have cats in the first damn place.
Or dogs.
Yeah.
Now you got sad, huh? It's about dogs. Asshole move. If it's about the cats, then I shouldn't have cats. If it's dogs, then it's a messed up situation.
Fucked up that kid killed that dog, man.
Clearly that can happen.
Yeah, they can kill. They kill like small animals. They don't eat squirrels, bunnies, whatever the fuck they have access to. That's what they kill. It ain't just.
I feel like I feel like I just have to like do something like buy my kid a big ass snake and just let them feed the snake the rats.
They gonna kill the snake though. Why would he let the snake live? See, I hope I don't have a kid that shows tendencies for psychopathy, because I'm not gonna live in a house with this little motherfucker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What, I did not sign on for a motherfucker to be thinking about killing me in my sleep.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
That is not why
you
I gave
signed
birth.
on for random select human. That's what you signed on for when you had sex and you got pregnant and had a baby. You signed on for random select human. It's like if you play a video game, would you press random select on a video game to choose the football team you're gonna play with?
No,
or to choose the character that you're gonna play with.
I always pick who I want. I don't do no random select
but when you have a baby, you press random select, and you know how big the selection is over everybody that's ever existed in your family.
Look, I can't have no kids standing over me when I'm asleep with a knife. You gotta go.
That's horrible, but
Timmy
you signed up for it, whether you meant to or not.
Guess what? He ain't gonna live in my house. He gonna have to go somewhere.
Where you going?
I don't fucking know. I'll give him up to the state. I can't do it. I'm not gonna die. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to die now to keep other people from dying. I'm not that heroic of a person. I'm not gonna keep him in my house to keep him from fucking with other folks.
Damn, what's the name of that movie?
The Good Son.
That movie we were just talking about.
Movie
with that crazy ass boy that was raping his daddy.
Oh God, the weird, strange thing about the Johnsons.
Yeah.
No. That movie makes no fucking sense at all. Like, at all. That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's horrible. Why would you even make that? Out of whose mind does this come?
One of them kids. There's a psychopath that got his ass sent away before he got to destroy his family. Actually became a writer director.
Little Timmy gotta go. I can't stay in my house. I as big
you
therapist.
name your kid Timmy?
No, I wouldn't name him Timmy. I wouldn't name him Timmy, but being a therapist, I know he gonna be a like he gonna be a sociopath his whole fucking life. I don't want to deal with it as he grow and you know, goes out and it gets beyond killing pets and shit. I don't want to deal with that shit. Then you going to school doing little shit and you ain't got no feeling and no emotion about it. You just a look. No. Go stay with your daddy. How about that? How about his daddy get him? Go stay
So
with
in
your
this
daddy
scenario, you're not together with the daddy.
Maybe I'm not. Shit. He gotta have somewhere to go. If I'm still with his daddy, we all in the same house. Then I can't stay. And my mama would kill him. I ain't even. She will murder. Yeah. Then
you should set your mama up.
I don't want my mama. You see that? You go with that petty shit.
You know what I'm saying?
With that petty shit again.
It's close to the end of her life. You know what I'm saying?
That don't mean I want my mama to
kill this little boy. We can make it seem like an accident.
Kill your grandson.
Maybe they'll let you off. It's you or me. It's you or him. If we happen to set up a situation where it need to be him, we can make that happen.
What would you do with a sociopath for a child?
I don't know. I guess it depends on how bad it get. In my head, if he just have this fucking bloodlust for animals, in my head, getting him a snake and letting them feed the rats to the snake might appease that.
What happens when you come home and find the snake dead?
If I come home and find the snake dead, then buy his ass another snake. He gonna keep killing snakes. And if I come home and it's a damn dog that's been gutted in the middle of the kitchen table, he gotta go. We gonna have an accident. We having a car wreck. Well, he ain't got on his seatbelt. His seatbelt don't work.
You still gonna go to jail. You can't have that for not having him in the seatbelt.
What?
It's illegal for you not to have your kids.
He gonna be old enough to have on a seatbelt.
So what?
He gonna be old enough to know that he should have put on his seatbelt.
You still, as a parent, gonna be responsible.
Well, I'm gonna rig the fucking seatbelt so it looked like he had it on and it malfunctioned, and I'm gonna sue the car company and I'm gonna get rich.
And kill your son in one fell swoop.
No, I ain't killing my son. I'm killing a sociopath.
He's your son.
Look, there's degrees of separation that you gotta consider when it get to shit like this. The degrees of separation is a crazy motherfucker that's going to kill somebody versus a person that came from my loins. One of them take precedent over the other one. I'm saving the world. I am making the world a better place.
It's gonna be maybe he'll be Dexter. Did you watch Dexter? Mm-mm. Dexter was a psychopath, but he harnessed and channeled it into. He became a crime scene investigator.
Blood splatter.
Yeah, but he killed only bad people.
The government don't care about that.
What you mean the government don't care about that?
They don't care about people that ain't. The government is about who authorized to kill. I can kill every bad person that exists. I'm not authorized to do it.
Yeah.
So
he because he was so good at crime scene shit. Didn't nobody know it was him.
He knew he had to get away with it. Yeah. He knew he couldn't get caught doing that shit.
Yeah, but he also knew that he had to satisfy this bloodlust some kind of way. So he decided he was gonna do it by killing people who he felt needed to die, and doing it in a way in which he wouldn't get caught. In his mind, it was a harmless.
Well, I mean, it's a written show. His bloodlust might escalate.
I mean, now he killed at certain points. He had to kill people that were close to him because they fucked up. Like you didn't get no pass because y'all were friends. Like if you did some fucked up shit or if you murdered somebody, he was gonna murder you. Like you didn't get a pass because y'all were friends. Like you were gonna die. He didn't have it was very black and white. Oh, you kill somebody, you gotta die. There wasn't no gray area.
Listen, if any of y'all are listening to this episode and y'all are like, this is fucked up. Like you talking about killing your kids one day. Listen, what would you do if you had a child that you knew might murder people one day or murder things one day or be crazy? I wouldn't kill my kid. You know what I'm saying? But he will have to go somewhere.
Cause he ain't gonna be in my house. Like I'm not gonna be afraid to sleep in my own bed because I don't know what the fuck you thinking about in that twisted.
I don't know where he gonna go.
It ain't gonna be my house.
But in the range of things that can happen, the afterlife is a place. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. I just
gotta hope I don't have no damn psychopath. So I guess the last thing I'm gonna talk about is Milo Yiannopoulos.
fuck that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What you finna say?
Fuck that nigga. But isn't he white?
Yeah, he British, so he original white. You know what I'm saying? Like
original white, original gangster. Yeah.
He original white, but he is a British gay, part Jewish, dater of black Muslim men.
Yeah.
And
who is homophobic, anti-Semitic, sexist, all of the bad things, racist, all of the bad things you with an ism. he is.
And he been causing ruckus all over the place as it pertains to quote unquote freedom of speech. That's who he is.
Wasn't he a writer for Breitbart?
Writer for Breitbart, and or editor, might have been a writer.
I think he was a writer.
For Breitbart, and he just participates in shock value freedom of speech. It's the concept of freedom of speech, but really being able to say whatever you want to say, no matter how offensive it is. And I just wanted to talk about like this dialogue about freedom of speech, the left being hypersensitive and becoming more hypersensitive, and the right who feels like they should be able to say whatever they want to say. I think people get a freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech and freedom of consequence from the government. That's not everything else. That doesn't, because he had a book deal. I forgot the name of the publishing house. And after he made, what was the last thing he said? Oh, about pedophilia. He was saying that, there are situations in which a older man can show a young boy the proper love or some shit like that. So pedophilia, I guess, was the line in the sand where he crossed, and it's like, oh, this ain't okay for you to, it's okay for you to say all this other fuck shit you've been saying. Pedophilia though, that crosses the line. And so now that was the thing that made them pull his book deal. Not all this other shit he been saying that over the course of the time that people have known who he was, but the pedophile shit, that was the shit that was too much. And even with that, some people were saying he shouldn't be punished and they should still let him publish his book because he can say what he want to say. He sure can. But as a publishing house, I get to decide what the fuck I publish. And I don't have to publish your shit just because you want to say it. Freedom of speech does not mean that you are owed a platform to spew your bullshit. People get to decide who they want to let utilize their platform, such as a publishing house. Now, I think they shouldn't have never gave him the fucking book. I would have never wanted to align myself with his ass anyway after all of it. How are you gay but talk shit about gay people? How are you racist but your boyfriend is black? How are you anti-Semitic? Like, you, all of the things that you like talk bad about, you are. Like, the fuck sense does that make? And I think that's why Breitbart likes him. It's because it's the same way that the reason why Fox loved Stacey Dash is because she's a black person who can say the shit about black people that they can't say, and she'll get away with it because she's black, right? Breitbart, same way for him. Yeah, he's saying this shit about gay people, but he's gay, so it should be okay. Oh yeah, he's saying this shit about black people, but he's dating somebody black, so it should be okay. Like, I feel like that was his appeal, was that he's all of the things he's talking about. And so therefore there should be some layer of protection for him since he is these things. And that's not how shit works. You see what happened to Stacey Dash? I think that people like him, Republicans, the right, who are all on this free speech bill, wants to treat free speech like the free market. They think that, well, if you say all of these things that you want to say, the people just ain't gonna take to you. you know, you'll eventually fade away. Like, that's Bill Maher's position. If you're saying shit that's bad, people ain't gonna listen to you. It's gonna fade out. That's not true.
No, it isn't.
That don't work like that. It's a bunch of people following all of the bullshit that Milo Yiannopoulos be talking about.
Fucking Donald Trump is the president. If that don't show you that saying stupid shit doesn't just fade away, he won the presidency. He is now the president of the United States and is continuing to say and do fuck shit. And still he's already campaigning for 2020. People are gonna, because here's the thing about that, it's not gonna fade away, because the people that are giving him exposure are the people who also believe the shit that he's saying. If you saying some shit that I believe anyway, why would that fade away? Why would my need or want to hear you say shit fade away? Because you saying stuff I believe anyway. You catering to my belief.
I don't think that people on the left are becoming insensitive. Now, amongst all the people who are trying to create more cultural sensitivity as it pertains to different groups, I think that there are people in there that just fighting for no reason, and that's just saying shut up for no reason. You know, I don't think the freedom of speech, if freedom of speech needs to exist for you at the cost of human decency, I don't agree with you being able to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I can call somebody's mama a fat bitch that will make them angry and upset. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They won't want me to say that.
No,
they would want me to shut up and stop saying that about their mama.
They would.
And so for a lot of people who are challenging what's being said about different groups, it's not about we just want to control what you're saying. It's about you're not taking into consideration how a group of people feel about what you're saying in the context of you saying things that are just horrible about that group of people.
Yep.
You know, it ain't like, don't say this shit about me because I don't want you to have freedom of speech. You know, it's because you're saying things that are inherently against what my culture is. What you're telling me to do by telling me not to say anything is to be quiet to you saying what you want to say about me.
Yep.
It don't work like that.
It does not.
I wouldn't shut you up. You know what I'm saying? I believe in freedom of speech too. I believe you can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
There's consequences.
But you get consequences from that.
If you go up to somebody and call their mama a fat bitch, that is your freedom and your right to do so. You might get them hands. You might get punched in the face. You might get drugged. But you can say whatever it is you want to say. Just the same way you can say whatever it is you want to say. Your book deal might get pulled. The fucking advertisers who work with you might take away your contract. They might not want you to represent their company anymore, and that's their right to do that. That's just a consequence. You can say whatever it is you want, but that's not freedom from consequence of the public. We can feel however the fuck we want to feel about what you say, and that can in turn affect some other shit that you got going on, but that's the way it works.
And also, the truth of the matter is, ain't nobody gonna be able to stop your mouth from moving the way you want to, and nobody gonna stop my mouth from moving the way I want to. If Milo Yiannopoulos say black people ain't shit, and I say that you shouldn't say black people ain't shit, that's just my freedom of speech at work against your freedom of speech. I can say what I want to. You don't have to label me as somebody who's trying to silence freedom of speech. That's just my response to it. You shouldn't say that shit. I'm not saying you shouldn't talk. You can say what the fuck you want to say, but I can have a retort to that shit. You know, based on my experiences and my problems with what you say. I feel like if the left is trying to keep the right from saying things that they don't want to hear, the right is trying to keep the left from keeping them from saying things that they don't want to hear. Like, they doing the exact same shit that they're criticizing the people who doing the shit that they criticizing about. Like
Donald Trump not letting the certain news sources into his meeting, and decided he ain't gonna go to the correspondence dinner, which is what presidents do.
Before the podcast, I planned on talking about Donald Trump, but I just don't care. I just don't care. Donald Trump clearly is gonna continue to lie.
Yep.
The people around him are gonna continue to support his lies. For the moment, all these Republicans around the country that's not going to these town hall meetings because they don't want the criticism, they're clearly following in Donald Trump's. Like, Donald Trump ain't even strong enough to stand up to the media. He would rather hide and avoid and sit behind microphones and meetings talking about them and behind a keyboard talking about them rather than facing the media, being stronger than the media, and challenging it.
He's not stronger than the media. He is. All he does is lie, and he doesn't have any retorts, or he doesn't have a way to prove the things that he says, and so he just ain't gonna go around nobody who gonna challenge what he says. He wants to be around people who just accept what he says at face value, don't do no fact checking. And that's the thing, all the media is doing is fact checking the shit you say. Stop saying shit that ain't true. Like, it's not like they're just like upset with you because they just don't like it. It's you lying. You are flat out lying. What you're saying isn't true. Stop lying. If you want the media to stop coming at you, then stop saying things that are not true. There's no such thing as alternate facts. Fucking Kellyanne. It's a lie. Y'all lying. Alternate fact my ass.
It is what it is. I'm over Donald Trump. Clearly, he gonna keep doing shit that's frustrating.
He is.
And now Jeff Sessions is in the mix.
This motherfucker here.
Steve Bannon been in the mix. Yep. But they're just gonna keep doing bullshit that I'm not gonna agree with. So, ain't no point in getting worked up on it. That's how I deal with shit in my life. I mean, why am I getting worked up over shit I can't control? You know, once I recognize that I can't control it, it's out of my realm of fucking with my day. You know, if I can do something about it, then I got a decision as to whether I will do something about it or not. The shit that you can do about politics is so fucking passive. Can't do shit about none of these executive orders that Donald Trump doing. And if I vote coming up in every single election, it still don't guarantee that it's going to position people that's going to be able to even change or challenge that.
I do like that people are going to the town hall meetings with the senators, though, and giving them shit. Like
and the senators ain't showing up.
Yeah, but the ones that are, the reason that they not showing up is because the ones that are showing up are getting blasted by. There was one where the people were mad because he supported appealing Obamacare, and a lot of the lady was like, everybody who has insurance because of, well, she called it the Affordable Care Act because that's the actual name of it, and like most of the room stood up because they were going to lose behind them repealing it and not replacing it with anything. And he didn't even have nothing to say. He just left because he ain't got shit to say. They don't have anything to replace it with. He don't have an answer, so he left. So then the reason why the other ones aren't showing up is because they don't want that same situation where they are faced with a bunch of angry people who don't agree with the decisions that they've been making that affect them, and they don't want to deal with it, so they just don't go to the meetings no more.
The problem is this is going to show that our democracy ain't so democratic.
Yeah.
It's going to show that these politicians are going to do what they want to do,
and not what in spite of the people. Yeah,
and that's what they found. They had a cordial ass town hall here in Hoover. They had signs. They were red on the front and green on the back. If they didn't agree with what he said, they turned to the red. If they agreed, they turned to the green.
Well, that's very cordial.
You know, but he did meet with everybody. So that's respect. And he met with a bunch of about 160 liberal people, like people who blatantly didn't agree with his political platform, and he knew it. That's respectful, but it's still politics, man.
Meeting with me and saying that you understand my issue with what you feel don't mean that you're gonna change what you decide to do.
He fought against damn shit.
Yeah.
Like, they brought up shit about Donald Trump, and his retorts about Donald Trump was, well, the executive orders aren't illegal, and something else. And he said, well, it's not unconstitutional. Like, if the best thing that you can argue against what somebody's doing is to say it's not legal and it's not unconstitutional, then that person is fucked up anyway. Like, those shouldn't be the only measures that you should be able to defend shit.
And they can't, though. That's what this whole the issue with this administration is that they can't defend stuff. And so because they can't defend, I ain't gonna deal with it at all. We just ain't gonna talk to the media because we ain't got shit to say. We don't have a retort, and so we just not gonna deal with it. And so that's why he's blocking out.
I really been thinking about like I know you was talking about it before Donald Trump became the president, but like going to another country. But I feel like there's something in America that can escalate that will make me not want to be here anymore. You know, like if some internment camp type shit started happening.
And I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that, like the way things are going, I could totally believe.
Donald Trump ain't using evidence to do nothing.
No.
He just going off of what he feel and what he think and what he want to happen.
Yeah.
And that's just not a good direction to go in.
Nope.
At all.
Not at all. It's scary.
But anyway, that's it. I ain't even talking about Donald Trump no more. You got anything else on your mind?
No. I went hiking with the puppies.
Hiking with the puppies.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
The differences in their personalities are very apparent. Remy is very much like, woo, we hiking. And Kingston just kind of like, what the fuck are we doing out here? Why are we out here? Like, he just had an attitude the whole time. Like, and he's just so prissy, and it's just funny, the difference. Remy was just full speed, like, woo, we outside. It's amazing. There's sticks everywhere. Sticks. Oh my God, the sticks. And Kingston was just kind of like, how long are we going to do this? Because I'm kind of over it, and I want to lay down.
Welp, we ain't got nothing else. Until we come to the next conversation,
We out.
holla.